Do you ever notice the more you scroll, the less you think, the less you imagine, the less you feel like the main character in your own life? This was me. For years, doom scrolling wasn't just wasting my time, it was killing my creativity, killing my drive, and killing my ability to feel excited about anything. And I didn't really understand how bad it was until I tried to build this very YouTube channel, and I realized my brain felt empty. So today I want to break down how doom scrolling destroys your creativity and what I'm doing to pull myself out of it, and hopefully what you can do to pull yourself out of it too. So let's get right into it. I call part one the creativity killer. Doom scrolling doesn't just make you anxious, it makes your brain passive. You have to think about this. When you're constantly scrolling, you're reacting, not creating. You're consuming, not thinking. You're overstimulated, not imaginative. The brain is like a muscle, and doom scrolling is the equivalent of sitting in bed all day. You think you're resting, but really you are weakening the exact thing you want to grow. And I think the worst part about doom scrolling is you're not even realizing it's happening. Your creativity doesn't die in some dramatic moment. It fades quietly until one day when you try to be creative, nothing comes out. That's exactly what happened to me. I kept telling myself, I want to make videos. I want to write. I want to be creative again. But anytime I tried, my brain was fried. Nothing sparked. Now, here are some of the symptoms I noticed and when I realized I had a problem with doom scrolling, and maybe you'll recognize some. For one, I couldn't focus on any idea for more than 10 seconds. I realized my attention span was wrecked. I also felt numb and not inspired. I couldn't bring myself to watch any new TV shows, any new movies. I would binge some YouTube content here and there, but nothing really inspired me, right? My self-esteem dipped. I stopped talking to friends. I kind of self-isolated. I stopped talking to family. I stopped going on dates. All I want to do is lay in bed and scroll all day. I didn't feel like myself. I felt maybe that it was adulthood, me growing up, but what I realized, it was just me spamming my dopamine receptors and making them anxious all day long by doom scrolling. Another thing I realized, my imagination just died. I used to think about stories, video ideas, business ideas, but doom scrolling replaced my internal world with constant noise. All I was looking at was politics, how Gen Z is screwed, the job market's screwed, the economy's screwed, right? And I feel like this is why so many people feel unmotivated, disconnected, and uninspired. It's not that we're broken. It's because we're overstimulated by the constant bad news that is on all of our feeds and what the algorithm is choosing to show to us 24/7, so we're in a constant state of fear. But this is when I had a turning point. Back in September, I just bought my first house at 26 years old. And I realized life is happening whether you participate in it or not. I realized I had goals that I cared about. Building this channel. I wanted to start reading more. I wanted to get back into the gym consistently. I wanted to start being more social, improving my lifestyle, building my routine so I can feel creative again. But I couldn't do any of that if my brain was locked in doom scroll mode. And that's when it hit me. If I don't control my inputs, I can't control my life. Someone very close to me told me that I have to start controlling my animal instincts. And I think what they meant by that was I need to stop feeding this anxiety that comes from doom scrolling. So here are some of the things I've recently done to try to replace doom scrolling, right? So number one, I started reading books. Currently, I started reading Red Rising. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not reading the entire book in one sitting, right? But even 10 minutes every night helps, right? It forces your brain to slow down and rebuild focus as you start to fall asleep, right? I unfollowed content that spikes my anxiety. No more conspiracies, no more negative spirals, no more end of the world stuff. Gen Z's all gonna go broke. Your feed becomes your mindset. So I started replacing it with cooking videos, behind the scenes on movies, things that just interest me that aren't so doom and gloom. I also started to go to the gym consistently. Lifting helps reset your dopamine and clears your mind, something I did not realize when I started. I just knew I needed a place to go to when I wake up in the morning, not grab my phone, not go browse Instagram, not go browse the world news, but instantly just say, hey, let me go move my body and get some sunlight in the early hours of the morning. And this kind of ties into the gym, right? But I built a morning and nightly routine that doesn't involve my phone, right? So I started doing skincare, go to the gym, only consuming real foods throughout the day, right? Reading before I go to bed. I also started journaling what I have to do for work the next day. So just by reforming your algorithm on your social media feeds and building a routine for yourself, I realized instantly that I started to see results. My ideas started to come back. Making this channel felt fun, right? Not so nerve-wracking. I feel more grounded and less anxious. My days are filled with intention and not reactivity from the news cycle, right? And most importantly, I started to feel myself. I started to feel that kind of spark again on trading and just life in general, right? Whether it's my job, life, having to go throw out the trash. I was like, I don't feel like such a blob. And look, I think the reason why I was feeling like a blob is because I didn't have enough mental quiet going on to just deal with my own thoughts. I was only dealing with the loudest noise in the world, which was doom scrolling. Well, anyways, if you feel like you've also lost your creativity and if you feel flat or uninspired, start by fixing your inputs. And look, I'm still trying to figure this out myself, but every week with this new routine, I feel myself taking a little bit more of my brain back. And this channel is just a part of that journey. So if any of this resonated with you, I hope you stick around. Please leave a like and comment down below and tell me if you're experiencing any of this. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well, so you can catch weekly videos around topics just like this. I'm trying to build a community of here where we can all connect to talk about these real world issues today. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in next week's. Thank you.